Hey designer, Alex here, welcome to the channel, and in today's video we are going to discuss why design tools don't matter and why it's much more important what is the end result. Before we get started with today's video, make sure to check out my membership. Link is going to be down in the description below. Membership contains all of my courses, design products, mentorship, private access to the Facebook group, practice files for these YouTube videos, and much more. So if you're interested, make sure to check it out. Link is going to be down in the description below. Now let's jump into this video. So the question I see most often especially on Facebook groups is, should I use Figma, should I use XD, should I use Sketch? And designers are really stuck on this basic question, which tool should they use? And my take on it is it really doesn't matter, because all of these tools, so XD, Sketch and Figma, are extremely great. They are all at this point that there is really not too much difference between them, and there is also hardcore fans on all sides. So there are some really excited people about Sketch, some really excited people about Figma, people who swear about Adobe XD. So really what you choose really doesn't matter, because all of these tools are going to get the job done, which is the most important thing after all. If you can get the job done, that's what matters. Tools does not matter. So if you want to work in Sketch, for example, you need a Mac machine. If you're working on Windows, you cannot use Sketch, so therefore Sketch is not an option for you. If you like to work in a cloud, if you like to share files with your teammates, if you like to work in some kind of design system manner, so to include different component states, for example, then I would really recommend Figma. If you're mostly desktop based, if you are working on either Mac or Windows, and if you want to have everything in one place, so design, sharing and prototyping and animations, then I would recommend Adobe XD. But once again, it really doesn't matter, because the end result is what matters. If the client is satisfied, if the developers are satisfied with what you deliver to them, if the design is nicely structured, if you're following design rules and guidelines, then it really doesn't matter, because tools are there just to help us get to the end point. And end point for us designers is to deliver that final project to the client and to the developers. So it really doesn't matter if you used Sketch, Figma, XD, as long as you deliver it on time and as long as everybody's happy with the result, then it doesn't really matter which tools you used. I would just like to add that if you're using something like Photoshop or Illustrator or Affinity Designer for UI UX work, I would highly recommend that you skip those tools and that you ditch those tools and move on to one of these three tools, because they are focused tools for UI UX design. Photoshop is a fantastic tool, but it's primarily made for photos, hence the name Photoshop. Illustrator is fantastic for illustrations, but once again, UI UX tool it's not. And Affinity Designer is kind of all of these tools combined together, so therefore it's jack of all trades and, in my opinion, master of none. Once again, if you want, you can use XD because it comes with Creative Cloud subscription, so you can use all of these tools from Photoshop, Illustrator and so on, especially if you're doing a bit of video editing. So it's great because integration is great. If you're working with a great team, if you're sharing files all of the time, if you need somebody, for example, when you're working on a design, you need copywriter to jump in and edit that copy of your design, for example, then Figma is fantastic. And Sketch is great, once again, especially if a large part of your organization is still using Sketch, then Sketch is great for that, in my opinion. And basically, at the end of the day, as I said, it doesn't really matter as long as everybody is happy with the result, as long as you deliver the result on time, and as long as you're following these design foundations in terms of layout, in terms of structure, in terms of color, then it really doesn't matter which tools to use. Thank you for watching this video, and I really hope you found value in it. If you did, make sure to press that like button. I upload new videos every single week here on the channel about design, passive income techniques, motivation and more. So if you don't want to miss that, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.